Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Good morning, third graders. My name is Mrs. Nixon. I am so excited to be here with you and support you as you become amazing thinkers, readers, and writers. This morning, I was going through some of the puzzles that we have in our activity books that we're giving away here at PBS. You see that address that's popping up on the screen down below? It's super easy. All you need to do is send me a letter, and I'll put one of these in the mail for you. Now you can even send it as an email, but don't forget to include your address so I know where to send it. It has all sorts of mazes and word searches and word puzzles and dot to dot. Super, super fun. So I encourage you to write to the station. Let me know something that you've learned, something you're doing in school. Maybe it's a book that you've just read and you'd love to share the title of it so that I can share it with other third grade friends. I'd love to do that. Now, if you're looking for a book to read, we're always encouraging you to practice your reading. You can visit your local county library. You can check out a book at your school library, or you can even go online and check out a book using the app Sora. So I encourage you, lots of ways that you can practice your reading, and I'd love to hear some of the titles that you've been reading. Okay. Third grade, are you ready to start today? Awesome. Okay, I have 3 things that we're going to go through today. We're going to start with the final syllable, and I've got some different spelling patterns that go with that. I have some suffixes, and then we're going to finish off today with figurative language. You ready to start? Okay, let's start by warming up those super smart muscles that we've got, our brains. We're going to look at some high frequency words. Now remember, high frequency words are those words we come across often in our reading and writing. So in third grade, we want to be able to not only read them, but to write them. So I really encourage you, as you see these, jot them down and practice using them in sentences of your own. All right, let's go through. Let's read them today together. You read them big and loud at home, and I'll read them here in the studio. Let's go. Done, each, don't, eat, ate, down, even, draw, drink, and every. Nicely done, third grade. Today we're going to look at these 2 right here. Done, D-O-N-E, and each, E-A-C-H. Help me use them in a couple of sentences. Here we go. Let's read them together. Is your homework almost and I would like one of please. Okay. Well, let's try done. I would like one of done, please. Does that make sense? No. How about I would like one of each, please? Maybe you get 2 different kinds of cookies, right? I would want one of each. And is your homework almost done? Hopefully it is, so you can go outside and play. Awesome job. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to talk a little bit about suffixes today. Now, I put up an anchor chart that we have looked at before, just so that visually we can kind of see what that looks like. And just a reminder that prefixes are found at the beginning, in the middle we have our base word, and at the end we have our suffixes. Now, suffixes are just a group of letters that can change the meaning of a word. So I want to talk about it just a little bit. We've got 3 of them we're going to be focused on all week. And the added layer, because we have seen some of these before, but the added layer is we're going to practice some of the spelling patterns with them. So let me show you what I'm talking about. When I have the word justify, this is my base word. It has meaning all by itself. Justify, I want to add the suffix able, which means I'm able to do this, right? So justifiable would be my word. But here's something I want to show you. When a word ends with a consonant and then a Y, before we add that suffix, we have to change the Y, you got it, to an I, and then we can add our suffix right there. So we have justifiable. Do you see that? All right, then we have the suffix us, okay, us. I know it's not, remember, it's not us like, there's two of us. This is, it's kind of an os, but it means that we're having the quality of. So here we go. The word is very, which means we have different options. There's various, okay, there's various, and we're going to do the same thing we did before. We've got a consonant and a Y. So we need to change that Y to an I, and then we can add our suffix us, various. Do you see how we did that? Various. So they're having the quality of various. There's various options. Now, the last suffix that we're going to practice this week is adding a Y. And by adding a Y, it just simply means that it's full of. So if I have the base word cloud and I add Y, it's simply letting us know now we have the word cloudy. It means that the sky is full of what? Clouds. You got it. Now, this is just a little reminder I put at the bottom that a suffix changes the meaning of the base word, and it can also change its part of speech. So that's something good to remember as we go through. Okay, let's go to our second part of today's lesson, and that is going to be all about our final syllables. Now, we've talked about syllable types before, so I brought out, again, this anchor chart that's going to talk about some different things. We're focusing on this consonant plus an LE at the end, and you're going to see that that creates the final syllable. So, for example, the word bubble, that consonant plus the LE is its final syllable, just like in circle and castle. So let me show you that in some practice. I have some words up here. Let me grab my handy dandy pen. So I'm looking for that final LE or AL or EL. That's my clue. So when I look up here at the word purple, I see it ends with LE, and I'm going to know that my final syllable is going to end with that consonant and then the LE. So this is my final syllable. And then I also know that per is another syllable. So I've got purple. Okay, so I would simply be able to divide my syllables. I know I've got two syllables, purple. Let's try it one more time. So when I look here, I see LE at the end, and I know I'm going to include that consonant right before. So this is my final syllable. When I look before, I can see it's bun, B-U-N. That is also a syllable, so we've got bundle. So I'm able to split my syllables, and I know I've got two syllables. Let's go through and see what this looks like in practice. So here, we're talking about, again, when a word ends with LE, the consonant before it plus the letters LE form that last syllable. This is true for the consonant plus EL and the consonant plus AL, like in table, camel, and metal. Okay, let's go through and do a little bit of practice here. It says, read each pair, underline the word that has the final consonant plus LE, EL, or AL in that syllable, and then let's circle that final syllable. So do we see which of these two words ends with that LE, EL, or AL? Yes, you see it right here. So here's our word, able. What's the final syllable? Let's circle it. Well, we just know it's going to be the LE plus the consonant. So I'm going to circle it right there, just like that. Let's try another one. We've got gladly and eagle. Which one has that final LE or EL or AL? Do you see it? Yeah, right here, eagle. So we've got the LE, but don't forget to include the GLE. All right, so let's go through. We're going to underline it and circle that final consonant. Try it one more time. Tunnel and light. Which one has that final syllable pattern that we're practicing? Right here, tunnel has it, good. We've got the EL at the end. And what is going to be that final syllable? Don't forget the N right here, that consonant that comes right before. So you've got tunnel. Good job. Let's go down and let's practice a little bit with our suffixes. So remember, we've got able, which means able to, Y, which means having the quality of, and us, which means full of. So if I have the definition that's written here in bold, I want to circle which word matches the definition. So able to be washed, able to be washed. Well, wash would be my base word, and I'm able to do it. Would it be washable or washing? You got it, see? Able right there is our clue. Excellent. Full of poison? Full of, I'm looking right here, O-U-S. So I'm going to look for O-U-S at the end. So I've got poisonous. Perfect. Last one to practice, having the quality of cheer. Okay, I'm going to look up here. Having the quality of, that's my clue. So I'm looking for a word that ends with Y. So I've got cheery or cheerless, and I know it's going to be cheery. Awesome job. Okay, last little piece before we call it a day. So authors love to use some figurative language when they're writing, and some awesome figurative language that they use are idioms. And idioms simply, they're a special kind of non-literal language that means something different from the meaning of the word that's found there in the sentence. Here's an example. Father tried his hand at fishing. He did not have much luck. Okay, so what does tried his hand at fishing? Does it literally mean that he tried his hand? Like maybe he threw his hand in? Probably not. So it's a non-literal, doesn't mean that he literally did it. Here are some options we could choose from. Does it mean to help someone with something? Well, was he helping someone to figure out how to go fishing? No. Was he attempting a task? Yes, he was trying to learn how to fish, right? He tried his hand at fishing. That just simply means he was trying to learn how to fish. So idioms are just that. They are a non-literal. Doesn't literally mean that he tried his hand at it. It just meant he was trying something new. All right, third grade, it's been awesome hanging out with you today and practicing all of these things. I know as you go through and you're doing your reading, you're going to find idioms everywhere. I'd love to hear about them. So thanks for hanging out with me today as you're getting ready for school. Remember, you're responsible for your learning success. So listen, ask questions, and share your ideas. I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
To a brand new day, time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.